नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोकी भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी हरे कृष्ण विश्व
Hare Krishna. I'll stop sharing. I'll share my screen. So we'll continue reading from introduction from Srimad Bhagavatam. Once Nityanand Prabhu and Srila Haridas Thakur were walking down a main road, and on the way they saw a roaring crowd assemble. Upon inquiring from passers-by, they understood that two brothers, namely Jagai and Madhai, were creating a public disturbance in a drunken state. They also heard that these two brothers were born in a respectable Brahmana family, but because of low association, they had turned into debauchees of the worst type. They were not only drunkards, but also meat eaters, women hunters, dacoits, and sinners of all description. Srila Nityanand Prabhu heard all of these stories and decided that these two fallen souls must be the first to be delivered. If they were delivered from their sinful life, then the good name of Lord Chaitanya would be even still more glorified. Thinking in this way, Nityanand Prabhu and Haridas pushed their way through the crowd and asked the two brothers to chant the holy name of the Lord Hari. The drunken brothers became enraged upon this request and attacked Nityanand Prabhu with filthy language. Both brothers chased them a considerable distance. In the evening, the report of the preaching work was submitted to the Lord, and he was glad to learn that Nityanand and Haridas had attempted to deliver such a stupid pair of fellows. So this is also another famous pastime, famous one, Jagai and Madai. Very sinful people, and how Nityanand Prabhu delivered them. Okay. Padma Mataji, please read one paragraph.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. The next day, Nityananda Prabhu went to see the brothers, and as soon as he approached them, one of them threw a piece of earthen pot at him. This struck him on the forehead, and immediately blood began to flow. But Nityananda Prabhu was so kind that instead of protesting their heinous act, he said, "It does not matter that you have thrown this stone at me. I still request you to chant the holy name of Lord Hari." Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Nice. Krishna ji, you want to read?
Okay, Prabhuji. One of the brothers, Jagai, was astonished to see this behavior of Nityananda Prabhu, and he at once fell down at his feet and asked him to pardon his sinful brother. When Madai again attempted to hurt Nityananda Prabhu, Jagai stopped him and implored him to fall down at his feet. In the meantime, the news of Nityananda's injury reached the Lord, who at once hurried to the spot in a fiery and angry mood. The Lord immediately invoked his Sudarshan Chakra, the Lord's ultimate weapon, shaped like a wheel, to kill the sinners. But Nityananda Prabhu reminded him of his mission. The mission of the Lord was to deliver the hopelessly fallen souls of Kali Yuga, and the brothers Jagai and Madai are typical examples of these fallen souls. 90% of the population of this age resembles these brothers, despite high birth and mundane respectability. According to the verdict of the revealed scriptures, the total population of the world in this age will be of the lowest Shudra quality or even lower. It should be noted that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never acknowledged the stereotyped caste system by birthright. Rather, he strictly followed the verdict of the Shastras in the matter of one's Swarupa or real identity. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Divya Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna. When the Lord was invoking his Sudarshan Chakra and Srila Nityananda Prabhu was imploring him to forgive the two brothers, both the brothers fell down at the lotus feet of the Lord and begged his pardon for their gross behavior. The Lord was also asked by Nityananda Prabhu to accept these repenting souls, and the Lord agreed to accept them on one condition, that they henceforward completely give up all their sinful activities and habits of debauchery. Both the brothers agreed and promised to give up all their sinful habits, and the kind Lord accepted them and did not again refer to their past misdeeds. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shloka Mataji, read. Hare Krishna. Shloka Mataji, you want to read?
Sorry, yeah, I want to read. I was just unmuting myself. Sorry. This is the specific kindness of Lord Chaitanya. In this age, no one can say that he is free from sin. It is impossible for anyone to say this, but Lord Chaitanya accepts all kinds of sinful persons on the one condition that they promise not to indulge in sinful habits after being spiritually initiated by the bona fide spiritual master. There are a number of instructive points to be observed in this incident of the two brothers. In this Kali Yuga, practically all people are of the quality of Jagai and Madhai. If they want to be relieved from the reactions of their misdeeds, they must take shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and after spiritual initiation, thus refrain from those things which are prohibited in the Shastras. The prohibitory rules are dealt with it in the Lord's teaching to Srila Rupa Goswami. During his householder life, the Lord did not display many of the miracles which are generally expected from such personalities. But he did once perform a wonderful miracle in the house of Srinivasa Thakura while Sankirtana was in full swing. He asked the devotees what they wanted to eat, and when he was informed that they wanted to eat mangoes, he asked for a seed of a mango, although this fruit was out of season. When the seed was brought to him, he sowed it in the yard of Srinivasa, and at once a creeper began to grow out of the seed. Within no time, this creeper became a full grown mango tree, heavy with more ripened fruits than than the devotees could eat. The tree remained in Srinivasa's yard, and from then on, the devotees used to take as many as mangoes from the tree as they wanted.
Thank you. Jai Shri
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Read next. Jai Shri Mataji.
Okay. The Lord had a very high estimation of the affections of the damsels of Vrajabhumi, Vrindavana for Krishna, and in appreciation of their unalloyed service to the Lord. Once Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted the holy names of the gopis, cowherd girls, instead of the names of the Lord. At this time, some of his students, who were also disciples, came to see him, and when they saw that the Lord was chanting the names of the gopis, they were astonished. Out of sheer foolishness, they asked the Lord why he was chanting the names of the gopis and advised him to chant the name of Krishna. The Lord, who was in ecstasy, was thus disturbed by these foolish students. He chastised them and chased them away. The students were almost the same age as the Lord, and thus they wrongly thought of the Lord as one of their peers. They held a meeting and resolved that they would attack the Lord if he dared to punish them again in such a manner. This incident provoked some malicious talks about the Lord on the part of the general public. Hare Krishna.
Right. Sachin Maheshwari ji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. When the Lord became aware of this, he began to consider the various type of men found in the society. He noted that especially the student, professor, fruitive workers, yogis, non-devotee, and different type of atheists were all opposed to the devotional service of the Lord. My mission is to deliver all the fallen souls of this age, he thought. But if they committed offenses against me, thinking me to be an ordinary man, they will not benefit. If they are to begin their life of spiritual realization, they must some way or another offer obeisances unto me. Thus the Lord decided to accept the renounced order of life, sannyasa, because people in general were inclined to offer respect to the sannyasis.
Sachin,
500.
can you read? Sachin, man. Yeah.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. 500 years ago, the condition of society was not as degraded as it is today. At that time, people would show respect to a sannyasi, and the sannyasi was rigid in following the rules and regulations of the renounced order of life. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not very much in favor of the renounced order of life in this age of Kali, but that was only for the reason that very few sannyasis in this age are able to observe the rules and regulations of sannyasa life. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided to accept the order and become a real ideal sannyasi so that the general populace would show him respect. One is duty bound to show respect to a sannyasi, for a sannyasi is considered to be master of all varnas and ashrams.
Right. Okay, we can read a little more. Bala.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. While he was contemplating accepting the sannyasa order, it is so happened that Kesava Bharati, a sannyasi of the Mayavadi school and resident of Katwa in Bengal, visited Navadvipa and was invited to dine with the Lord. When Kesava Bharati came to his house, the Lord asked him to award him the sannyasa order of life. This was a matter of formality. The sannyasa order is to be accepted from another sannyasi. Although the Lord was independent in all respects, still, to keep up the formalities of the Shastras, he accepted the sannyasa order from Kesava Bharati, although Kesava Bharati was not in the Vaishnava Sampradaya school.
Okay. Ashim ji.
Hare Krishna. After consulting with Kesava Bharati, the Lord left Navadvip for Katwa to formally accept the sannyasa order of life. He was accompanied by Srila Nityananda Prabhu, Chandrasekhar Acharya, and Mukunda Datta. Those three assisted him in the details of the ceremony. The incident of the Lord's accepting the sannyasi order is very elaborately described in the Chaitanya Bhagavata by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur.
Okay, Krishnananda Kiniji. You can read one paragraph last.
Hare Krishna. Thus, at the end of his 24th year of the Lord accepted the sannyasa order of life in the month of Magha. After accepting this order, he became a full-fledged preacher of the Bhagavata Dharma. Although he was doing the same preaching work in his household life, when he experienced some obstacles to his preaching, he sacrificed even the comfort of his home life for the sake of the fallen souls. In his householder life, his chief assistants were Srila Advaita Prabhu and Srila Srivasa Thakur. But after he accepted the sannyasa order, his chief assistants became Srila Nityananda Prabhu, who was deputed to preach specifically in Bengal, and the six Goswamis, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Gopala Bhatta Goswami, Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, and Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, healed by Srila Rupa and Sanatana, who were deputed to go to Vrindavana to excavate the present places of pilgrimage. The present city of Vrindavan and the importance of Raja Bhumi were thus disclosed by the will of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, wonderful. I think most of us we got the chance to read. Okay, now just one quick recollection of what we read and small kind of a quiz. Okay, so anybody can help me to recall what and all different pastimes we read today? If you know the answer, just unmute yourself and then say the answer.
The deliverance of Jagai and Madai.
Yes, that was one of the important deliverance of Jagai and Madai. That how Nityanand Prabhu used to go out for preaching, and then he saw these drunkards, sinful people, and then he tried to go and tell them that, hey, give up all that, chant the holy name, and then they practically attacked him. They hit him on the head, and then blood was oozing out. And then Lord was furious. He invoked his Sudarshan Chakra, but Nityananda Prabhu was even more kind. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very, very kind. He said as Mahavadanyaya, most merciful, most magnificent incarnation of the Lord. But Nityananda Prabhu is next level. Despite all this attack and all that, he fell at the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and pleading to forgive them. He says, if you start killing like this, the sinful people in Kali Yuga, then practically you have to kill everyone, because in this modern age Kali Yuga, practically everybody is sinful. In those days, there are only two Jagai and Madai. Like the description is given, like drunkards, women hunters, meat eaters, and all that. You see, in this modern age, practically everyone, the so-called gentleman, is doing all this. So this modern age, the Kali Yuga is like full of Jagai and Madai. If Lord has to kill, then whole world has to be killed. So that was his, argument. Nitin Bru say, no, your mission is different, not to kill the sinner, but kill their sinful tendencies, and that happens through the chanting the holy name and that. So that is very famous pastime, and again very elaborately it is being given there. Okay. What is the other pastime?
Taking sannyasa from Kesava Bharati.
Okay, yes. Before that, there's something else was there.
Saying
in the mango tree.
Yes, that miracle he shows that, and that kirtan was going on, and then when everybody is jumping, dancing, and Lord asked, okay, now you might be all hungry. What do you want to eat? And everybody said, okay, mango. Though it was not a season, but he got one mango seed and put, and then immediately there was a mango tree, and there's so much of mangoes. So when we go to the Mayapur yatra and all that, we can still go and see that mango tree. I don't know whether it is still giving the mangoes or not. At least that place is there. It was 500 years back. So that was the miracle that happened. Okay, what else we discussed?
chanting the name of the gopis.
Yes, that is also another important pastime. That how, and it teaches a very important lesson to all of us, that how Lord Chaitanya, because he was very young, and then he has all the young students, so almost like contemporaries, like in age. So sometimes that familiarity comes, and then familiarity breed contempt, so they say. So all the students, they thought, okay, he's also like one of us, like same age group and all that. Why chanting the name of the gopis instead of chanting Krishna's name? Like that, they started condemning and then kind of pointing him out. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in a very, ecstatic state of consciousness. He was upset, and then he started contemplating that if these people they start committing this offense, I'm the Supreme Lord. Lord knows in the heart. But these people may not understand. They're taking me as some ordinary person and considering me as an ordinary person, and they start committing some sin and pointing out. Instead of getting benefited spiritually, they will glide down to the hell by committing an offense to the Supreme Lord. So considering all of this, he, out of his compassion, he sacrificed his household life, and then he decided to take the sannyas. Right at the age of what was the age?
24.
Yes, at the age of 24, like a young boy, he took the sannyas. Okay, now some questions. We'll apply the rule. Those who know the answer, just you have to raise the hand. I'll find out. Okay, from whom he took the sannyas? Who was that sannyasi? Because the sannyasi has to take the sannyas from another sannyasi. Okay, let me see the hands. Yes, Bala.
Kesava Bharati.
Yes, his name was Keshav Bharati. Now, what is special that Keshav Bharati was? He belonged to a different tradition, not the Vaishnava tradition. He comes
He's
from.
a
Sorry.
Mahaprabhu.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's impersonalistic. He's a Mayavadi.
Yes, he was the Mayavadi sannyasi. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took the sannyas from this Mayavadi sannyasi. Because for Lord, the Supreme Lord is Bhagwan. For him there is no rule. So he took the sannyas from Mayavadi. Okay, now next question. Which place he took the sannyas? Which city? There is the place.
It's a Katwa.
Where?
Navadvip.
It was not in Navadip. It was
Katwa.
Katwa. Katwa is like another close by place there somewhere. Right. So he took the sannyas. Okay, now another question is before he took the sannyas, his associates, like his personal associates, the two personalities were the personal associates. Raise your hand if you know the answer. Don't just tell the answer like that. Who were those two personalities before the sannyas? Who were the kind of assistant? I see 1, 2, 3. Sachin.
Before sannyasa, Shri Advaita Prabhuji and Srinivas Prabhuji were his assistant.
Srinivas?
Srivas.
Srivas, yeah.
Thakur, yeah.
Okay. So, and after sannyas?
Nityananda.
Nityananda Prabhu and
Advaita.
nahi.
Anybody else want to try?
Nityananda Prabhu and Haridasa Thakur.
Yes. Nityanand Prabhu and Haridas Thakur. Okay, I'm just trying to pull that out so that we make sure that we remember those names rightly. Now, some of us might be wondering, like, oh, how does it make difference to remember all these names and all that? But it is very, very important when we read about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because these are all Parshad, like the personal associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all these personalities. And there's so many thousands of devotees are there. But these devotees are like very special, those who are like very close to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we should know all their names. Okay. So where is that? His assistant were. Okay, so there was a confusion, and I think I was a little doubtful, and my doubt was okay, I'll tell that. So before, in his household life, his chief assistants were Advaita Prabhu and Srivas Thakur. Okay, that's correct. And after the sannyas, chief assistant became Nityanand Prabhu, and who was deported to preach, especially in Bengal. Okay, so it was Nityanand Prabhu. So before Srivas Thakur and Advait Prabhu, so they're like we say Panchatattva mantra, right? Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advait, Gadadhar, Srivas. So Sri Advait and Srivas before when he was in the household life. And after sannyas, and the Nityananda Prabhu, Prabhu Nityananda. Nityananda Prabhu is actually Balramji. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. And this Nityananda Prabhu, who was deputed to preach, especially in Bengal. And then there are 6 Goswamis. So we should know all the names of the 6 Goswamis. They are also another very important personalities in our tradition. So maybe we can discuss more about, but just learn the name of the 6 Goswamis. Tomorrow I'll just pick some of you and then ask the 6 names. That is your homework assignment. Okay. So thank you everyone. Hare Krishna. And one just quick announcement. I think Premanand Prabhu wanted to. He asked me he want to make some announcement for. Yeah, Prabhu, go ahead.
Yes, Prabhu, just a minute. 1 minute, Prabhu. Hare Krishna devotees, we just wanted to announce that Gita Life is now officially on YouTube and Instagram. We are having separate pages on YouTube and Instagram.